Oh man, this game. I really wasn't planning on playing this game at all. But yeah, it happened by accident because I was done with Bethesda games after Fallout 3. So, but instead, fate wanted me to play this shit for whatever reason. No, I got my code for free with my new AMD GPU. So, and yeah, there's a lot to say, but I don't want to make the video too long because everything that was like to be said has already been said, I think. So I'll just give out my impressions and that's it. Starting with the technicals of the game, even though a few days ago a patch was released that improved the performance somewhat, I have tried it, and yeah, the game runs better now. It's a bit more stable performance-wise. But before the patch was released, the performance was pretty shit for the most part. In the big hub areas, I wasn't able to maintain 60 FPS. Namely, places like New Atlantis. All the big inhabited cities, more or less. So New Atlantis, the Aquila City, yeah, that city where the Freestar Collective capital is, I think, and yeah. But instead, in the other, when there weren't as many NPCs, yeah, I could maintain 60 FPS more or less. Stable, relatively stable, but in the big hub areas, no, not at all. Lots of stuttering and FPS drops. The graphics in general also are not very good in my opinion. It's like you can tell there is some next gen stuff there, like the lightning. No, sorry, the lighting. Yeah, the lighting in some places looks good, like mostly the interiors. Some of the models kind of look next gen, like the main characters. There's some of it, like Sarah. Sarah kind of looks like next gen, like a next gen character, but yeah. There's you can see there's a little bit of good, impressive graphics buried under the shit, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough because like you will expect better after having worked like 10 years. I think they said they had been working on this game 10 years. Bethesda and now Microsoft support too. You will expect something better than this thing they shut out. Honestly, I have seen people spurging out about the pronouns. Like, don't get me wrong, pronouns are stupid, are fucking dumb. I'm not going to get too much into this, but yeah, pronouns are stupid. But the pronouns are the least of these games' problems. Like if it was only the pronouns, probably most people wouldn't give a fuck about them. So, but yeah, let's move on and talk about the story, the setting, the universe, which is, I mean, this is according to them, this was their new IP, their new prized child IP. Yeah, whatever. Let's move on. Okay, now the world, the setting. In this universe, humans live in space, They colonized different worlds, but Earth has been supposedly abandoned because it fell in ruin for non very specified reasons that you will find out later in the story, but I'm not gonna say anything about that at the moment. There are 3 main big factions. Not sure I would call them factions, like form of like governments, more likely. Yeah. And they are the United Colonies, the Freestar Collective, and the Varun. Like United Colonies are pretty much your typical Western society. Think of like America, like your typical European American government, except in space. The Freestar Collectives, think of Texas, yeah. It's like Texas, I think. Or the Far West, but in space. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what their team is. They are the Far West of the universe. And the Varuns are pretty much the religious fundamentalists of the universe. Because they think a big snake is going to do what? I don't even remember what. Yeah, they believe in this big snake that's going to come back and restore the universe to its glory or something like that, and reward them for their fate, some stupid shit like that. But yeah, the issue I have with all of this though is that they have made this game about space and exploration, but they have put no sentient alien life forms in it. Like, what's the fucking point? You can do anything in a video game, but instead they decided to do it the most boring way possible. That's gonna be a recurring theme in this game. Like, imagine if Mass Effect didn't have aliens in it. How worse of a game it would be. It wouldn't even be as liked as it is, probably. And this is what this game is. This is basically like Mass Effect without aliens. Except like 15 years later or 20 years later. How long ago, how much has it been? How long has it been since Mass Effect came out? I don't remember. But yeah, this is Starfield. And it's not like they don't know how important it is to have like different races in a universe to make it more compelling. They literally know this because they also been making Elder Scrolls, and one of the biggest appeal in Elder Scrolls is also the different races. So I don't know what the fuck they were thinking here. The aesthetics of the world, the whole NASA punk, I don't know, it doesn't really appeal that much to me. I can see why some people like it, but to me it doesn't really say anything. I don't dislike it, it's fine, it's functional, it's a decent style, so nothing much to say about it. It's just that the interiors feel a bit dull and repetitive because of this. Another big problem in the supposed world of this game is the NPCs. They're fucking ugly. Like, it's like It's like they put really the effort in to make them as ugly as they could. And also they are very diverse, because yeah, you gotta push the narrative. I don't know who worked on the NPC modeling, or if they are. I mean, they probably are randomly generated in a way, but someone had to make the basic models, and yeah, they look like shit. They're ugly, and there's so many brown people. Yeah, it's very woke. This is another team. This is going to be another team in this game. It's very woke. I'll probably talk about it later in more detail. For now, yeah, this is it. Let's move on to the quests. I'll talk about the quests more in detail, because there's quite a bit to talk about. So let's move on.
Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Yeah. Why am I a woman? Why the fuck is the it's the main, like, standard thing, a woman? Okay. Now let's talk. Yeah, that was my reaction when I was making the character. For some reason, I had the default set as woman. I think it's just random, the kind of characters they gives you in the character creator at first. But yeah, the main quest is easily the worst main quest in a Bethesda game, and also in general one of the worst main quests I've ever seen in an RPG. At the start, you're just doing your shitty mining job. When you suddenly find an artifact, then some guy, Barrett, comes to your planet because he is interested in the artifact you just found. The problem is that he's followed by pirates, so you end up fighting the pirates with the help of everybody, the people who are working with you. And after that, you switch places with him. So you take his ship, you take Barrett's ship, and you'll go to his association to see what's going on. This association is called Constellation, and yeah, you do that. They let you do this because you're the chosen one, apparently. This is another recurring theme in Bethesda games. Like, you're always the chosen one. Like, you're always the greatest or whatever. It's getting old, honestly. Like, find something else to push your narrative forward, because at this point it's just stupid. It's very low effort. It's a very low effort. So yeah, after you do this, you're the chosen one, whatever. It's very usual, very part of the course when it comes to Bethesda and their slop riding. And I'll go on a tangent here and talk about the writing as well. And it's fucking shit. It's very horrible. It's shit. No halfway about it. Horrible and childish Reddit tire writing and jokes all around. I guess all the good writers at Bethesda being replaced because there ain't no good writers left at Bethesda. Because if you look at this game, there's no good writing. I mean, probably maybe one single line of dialogue, but most of it is just horrible. Literally one of the worst writing I have seen in a game, especially a modern game. And it's also incredibly woke, like I was saying before. You'll barely see a man in charge of anything in this universe. It's women rule everything. Women rule everything, and they are ruthless soldiers, mercenaries too. And if a man is in charge of something, he most likely be of color, let's say. Yeah, so native Europeans are nowhere to be seen. I guess they are an endangered species in this universe. I don't know. Like I said before, the pronouns are just the icing on the cake. I can't take this stuff seriously. It's cringe, and my suspense of disbelief fucks off into oblivion after the third strong, independent woman in a row I have to interact with. Just pandering at this point. A lot of them are boss girls too, and the worst kind. They all act bitchy, like snob bitchy. Like I am the shit and you're nothing. Who likes this? Honestly, who likes this? Anyway, back to the story. This Constellation group is a group of explorers, scientists, headed by Sarah Morgan, which will be your first companion in this adventure. And yeah, she's a woman, of course, but at least she's white. She's white, so she will follow you for whatever reason. Other members so far are Noel, Walter, and Matteo. I don't like any of them, honestly. Then after a few missions, you'll get to meet a few more. Samco, Andrea, and Vlad, which is really some. I wonder like how long they had to think about this character. He's a Russian person, but he is also black, and he's also a scientist. Yeah, I mean, my theory, and also a theory I've seen thrown around, is that people think they made him black because they were afraid of potential backlash if they had made him like white or normal native European, since he's Russian, for the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. But I don't know, it seems like they were just being overzealous with this. I just think it's dumb, honestly. You're gonna make a Russian character, make a proper Russian character. I mean, it's possible they made him black to avoid the criticism in the fact that they were making a sympathetic Russian character. I can see that, yeah, could be. It's just dumb, though, in my opinion. During your missions, you can have, like I said before, a companion follow you. You can have some of the members at Constellation be your companion, so you can recruit other people in other places. You'll also be able to recruit other people to work on your ship, but I don't think they do much of anything. other than increase your stats on the ship when it comes to certain parameters. But yeah. The companions from Constellation you can use are all easily upset and are no fun, honestly. As soon as you do something bad, they'll get mad at you. Especially Sarah.
This is murder! You're on your own. What's wrong with you?
Doesn't really matter though, because you can persuade them back into giving you another chance over and over. Yeah, persuasion is pretty powerful in this game.
Look, just...
I'm not sure what they were thinking with it. As far as I can tell though, it's pretty busted. Like I was able to do like the whole persuasion thing over and over and over without getting into fights. It's pretty busted. Talking about romance instead, I think you can only romance Sarah and Andrea. I went with Sarah because I wanted to see what the romance will entail. And nothing much really changes in the grand scheme of things. You get to know, you get to interact more with the character. She gets more, she explains more about her past, her background and everything. And you do, then when your affinity level reach a certain level, she will open up to you more and you'll do her quest. And after doing her quest, it will open up the possibility to enter in a relationship with her. Like I said, I went with her because I wanted to see how things were. But yeah, the mechanic is pretty pointless. It just really doesn't really add anything. I mean, I have to say though, she becomes more lovey-dovey and more bearable to be around when she's in love with you. So it's definitely a plus, because she can be pretty annoying otherwise. Most of your companions can be pretty annoying. So I can see a lot of people not bringing any companions with them, because they just suck in this game. The companions suck. This is probably just me rambling though, but it would have been nice if with the romance system you could have had, like, I don't know, maybe something more complex, like the possibility to make a family, to raise a family. Something like it was in Fable, where you could get married and have children. It wasn't perfect, but you know, it would have been something good to improve on in this game. But instead they went with the easiest route. I guess it could have been asking too much from Bethesda. The quests in general, but yeah, I'm supposed to talk about quests in this part, but yeah. I wanted to talk about quests, but also like other minor things that are related to quests, like the companions and such, the romances, companions and such. As far as the no-main quests, so the other secondary quests and storylines, the only ones that are noteworthy are the faction ones, probably. My personal favorite is the Crimson Fleet one, which is, I think it's the most engaging one in terms of story as well. Also the one with the Vanguards and the Xenomorph. how are they called? The terror morphs, where you have to investigate the terror morphs attack. That's a good one too. The 3-star collective one is also decent. I'll talk about these like quest lines more later when I talk about the spoilers. But yeah, to conclude this section, a lot of the quests either feel mundane or are just not interesting enough. There's quests where you literally have to turn on junction boxes or find missing objects in a resort. Like, who the hell even comes up with this shit? This is like literally one of the few games in my life I have played where I can remember actually yawning while I was playing it. This is how boring it can get in this game. This is how boring things can get in this game. Other quests there are a few other quests that had an interesting premise, but fell short because the options they give you to solve them suck ass. Like the first contact quest, where there's these people strange on their ship that have been exploring space for a long time, and they are back to their planet, to their original planet, only to find it occupied by a luxury resort. And said resort's board is asking you to deal with them, to deal with this ship, because they want to come back on their planet, but now the planet is inhabited by this resort. So you only have 3 options: either destroy them, destroy the ship, make them go away, or destroy them, make them go away, so you have to buy them a new grav drive, or come up with resources to let them join the resort as indentured workers. Like, these 3 options all suck, because why can't I just tell the board to fuck off and let them back on their planet? No, you can't, because the writers didn't think about it, probably, because they're stupid fucks. You have very little choice most of the time. A lot of characters cannot be killed no matter what. Apparently this game has an awful lot number of essential NPCs. My guess is that they did this to avoid game-breaking bugs, because of course the less people you can kill, the least number of people you can kill. Of course, you're gonna run into less bugs, because there's less chance of things being fucked up. And it makes the game less interactive, less interesting as a whole. It feels very lazy and underwhelming in general. There is one quest though that I enjoy. One of the few single quests I enjoyed. I remember it being the one. It's in the main quest actually. It's near the end of the game, and there's this artifact that creates a different reality. Because there has been an incident. You're supposed to go into a facility to recover one of the artifacts, and there has been an incident in this facility. And the artifact has created 2 realities in this facility. One, where most of the people died as a result of this incident inside the facility, and only 1 worker survived. And the other reality is that in the facility everybody survived except this 1 worker. And in this quest you'll keep shifting between realities thanks to the artifact, and it's very, like, it's an interesting concept. It kind of reminds me of, in a way, of the game Singularity. It sucks that it was a very short quest, but yeah, it was one of the few nice quests in the main campaign, in the main storyline. And at the end of the quest, you'll have to decide which one of the two realities is the real one. So you get also a choice. It was a very nice quest. Also, the one with I also liked the one where there's clones of the famous historical characters of Earth. Yeah, that was also a nice one too. If the game would have had more quests like these two, it would have been more interesting for sure. More of these and less stupid shit about switching boxes and whatever. Next section, I think I'll talk about the gameplay, and I'll try to talk about the mechanics and the gameplay, even though there's a lot to say, but I'll try to keep it short. So let's move on. Okay, now when it comes to gameplay, like I said, there's quite a bit to discuss. I probably won't be able to touch everything because, you know, there's a lot, and I don't have footage for everything, and maybe I'll forget about something, but yeah, you'll get the gist after I'm done. A big problem though is that the game still, for the most part, the game still has the same issues that have been plaguing Bethesda games since Oblivion, from what I've seen. It will feel like you're still playing the same game over and over in some aspects. I'll explain better what I mean later, but yeah. Starting from the combat, which is okay, all things considered, it's functional. Shooting feels decent. The weapons have an overall pleasant feedback when you fire them. There's a decent variety of weapons, even though some of them look like shit. I don't know who designed them. Some are okay, others look like shit. It seems like the ones who look like shit. It seems like they were designed by someone who has never seen a gun in real life. I don't know. And also, yeah, there's the whole caseless shotgun thing. I don't know if it's explained in the lore, but yeah, the shotgun shells are empty, I think. But yeah, the guns are okay, like I said. The shooting, from what I've seen, feels very similar to Fallout. It's almost like they have recycled it. What is not okay though is the enemy AI. They're fucking brain dead. Dude, I'm here. I'm fucking here. You fucking retard. Like the enemy AI in these games has been brain dead for as far as I remember. So yeah, it's nothing has changed in that regard. So much for being next gen. Yeah, next gen shit. Also, the higher level an enemy will be, the spongier it will also be. So it's very likely that unless you level up quite a bit, you'll be shooting dumb bullet sponges in the late game. It's super fun. Like when an enemy has like 5 health bars for whatever reason. Yeah, it's very fun. When it comes to the weapons, you can also modify them at the benches along with your spacesuit. To do so, you'll have to first unlock and develop projects, but also level up certain skills and have sufficient materials. So yeah, there's crafting too in this game. I know, yeah, it's your standard AAA experience in 2023. So you'll probably go out like go to farm some materials or buy them to complete a project. What else is there? I'm already exhausted talking about this game. I'll talk a bit more about stuff just to let you understand what kind of mediocre slop this thing is. Next on the list is the ship combat. The best way to describe it is ace combat, but less fun. The thing that distinguishes it, and it's somewhat neat, is the minigame behind it. You have various systems you have to allocate power to, and of course the power is limited because it depends on what kind of reactor you have on your ship. So you will have to switch accordingly depending on whether you're in combat or not. For example, during a fight, moving the power from the engine and the grav drive to weapons and shield is probably a good idea. So this mechanic is kind of neat because it adds a little bit of layer to the space combat. You can, as far as I know, you can only mount 3 weapons max on a ship. And yeah, the ship weapons can vary between like rocket launchers, laser cannons, ballistic cannons. I think there's also like electromagnetic railguns, but I haven't tried all of them, honestly. I had my favorite combo, which was rocket launcher, laser, and ballistic cannon. Those were my 3 favorite favorite weapons to use. You can also upgrade your ship, assuming of course you have the right skills to buy and mount higher tire components. The ship builder function is a mixed bag. There's no proper tutorial for it, so you'll have to spend some time to figure out how some of the things work. It's also possible to build a ship from scratch. So for people who like this kind of stuff, they'll be able to put some time on it. And it can be fun and rewarding because there's a good variety of components and possibilities when you build, when you're trying to build a ship. But it's like I said, it's not for me. Like building a ship from scratch, it would have taken too much time, and I wasn't willing to put that much time into this game. So I wanted to play, not to build stuff. Or I mean, if you don't like I said, like if you wanted to do like I did and not waste time building a ship from scratch, you can just buy a better ship. There's also, like, of course you'll have to have certain skills to drive, to pilot better, more powerful ships, so keep that in mind. There's a skill for almost everything, pretty much. What I suggest doing, though, at least for your first playthrough, I suggest completing the 3-star collective quest as soon as possible, because the reward it gives you is a pretty decent spaceship that's good for combat and for travel. You won't be able to complete the story with this, but not because it's not powerful enough, but because you'll have to switch to a different ship at some point in the game to travel and a higher amount of light years, I think, from what I remember. But yeah, it will let you breeze through most of the space fights in the game with the ship the 3-star collective gives you. And it's also like an aesthetically pleasing ship. I like how the shape how it looks like. Kind of looks like the Batwing. I haven't tried the outpost building much, other than the basics. But it seems like it can get pretty in depth. But like the shipbuilder, there's no proper tutorial for it. So if you want to do some cool stuff, you better spend some time on it, if that's your thing. But it's not mine, so. Now another sour note: the exploration in general is shit. It's crap. You have to do everything on foot, and you walk so slow. There's no vehicles, which is ludicrous, honestly. Like, how are you making a game about exploration and there's no vehicles? Like, even Mass Effect had vehicles. But no, not Starfield, because Bethesda is just too... It's too good, it's too forward-thinking. On most planets, there's barely anything to explore. Just a big nothing with a few points of interest here and there. I think most of the planets are also randomly generated, so yeah, it's very not crafted. It's not a crafted experience for you to have fun. Just your usual randomly generated slop. You can run out of oxygen for a number of reasons when you go around, because you have oxygens to perform a number of actions like run, jump. And the most common reason will probably be because you're over-encumbered. And yeah, even when you level up weightlifting up to the max, which is the skill that lets you carry more stuff with you, becoming over-encumbered is pretty easy, because you keep, like, when you're exploring or you're doing quests, you keep, like, picking up items. So, and also some of the items are pretty heavy, which is, I don't think it's a good choice. It makes everything tedious and obnoxious, because if you get without oxygen, after a while you won't be able to run or walk. You'll have to stop. So also, let's not forget about the countless loading screens you have to go through. You can't seamlessly travel from one planet to another. You can't land manually either. So all the space explorations, all the space exploration amounts to is a bunch of menus to select your destination and a bunch of loading screens, and also the same animation over and over when you will have to sit on your ship's piloting post. I think space exploration was one of the big selling points of this game. At least this is what I got the impression of. But it is truly shit-tired, non-existent, because the planets are just big JPEGs. You can't land on them manually. You have to open them up to do it. You also have a jetpack. But guess what? It's fucking useless too, unless you upgrade it a little bit. Only then does it become okay-ish. But it feels like they put it in there only to try and put a patch on the shit tire exploration, because at least they say, okay, there's no vehicles, but at least you can jump with the jetpack, but it sucks. It's pretty much like a double jump or a triple jump most of the time, unless you power it up. You level it up. Yeah, I don't know if I have forgotten something. Probably I have, but this encapsulates most of my feelings when it comes to the mechanics and the gameplay. So let's move on to, and I'll talk a little bit about the story spoilers, the quest spoilers in general. Okay. Now here there's a little bit to discuss. So as far as the main quest goes, after you rescue Barrett, because yeah, at some point he will get kidnapped, and yeah, it's not really that important, but yeah, you rescue Barrett and then you keep collecting artifacts, but then at some point someone called the Hunter will attack the lodge of Constellation. This Hunter will be revealed to be a so-called Starborn. Yeah, such originality, Dragonborn, Starborn. It's fucking stupid. And there is multiple of them because they basically like introduce multiverse theory in the game. That's the big reveal. Then nothing really matters because there's some other universe where people who died in this one are alive in the other one. So yeah, it doesn't matter. And yeah, after you get to know this shocking reveal, which is very lazy because nowadays multiverse shit seems to be everywhere. But yeah, when the hunter attacks, you're presented with a choice whether to remain and defend the lodge or go to rescue the other Constellation members that stayed on Vlad's station because it needed repair, so some of them stayed there. And yeah, there's this choice that's presented to you, and the choice will bring about an outcome. If you choose to stay, I think if you choose to stay in the lodge, your love interest dies. Or at least, I don't know if it's fixed and it's just Sarah that dies if you remain in the lodge, but yeah. I assume it's your love interest or just Sarah that dies, since she's on Vlad's station. But if you go on Vlad's station to rescue the people who are attacked on there, you will save your romance. In fact, this is what I did. I went to the station to save Sarah, because there's no way I'll let my wife die. So what kind of man will I be? So, but yeah, if you go and rescue the companions on the station, Barrett will die instead in the lodge. Yeah, fuck Barrett. Honestly, I can't stand him. I'll let you figure out why, for a number of reasons. After this happens, you'll have to start searching and finding temples that will give you space powers. I assume that's just another reference to Skyrim. I don't know. There's quite a bunch of them, and I haven't found all of them, but I don't know. There's just boring. Most of them are boring. A few of them are kind of cool, but they're very generic. That it's not something that will make the game more fun, in my opinion. And the temples are all the same thing. You just go on the planet, you find the temple. It's the same mechanic over and over for all the powers. It's just very boring and unoriginal. And most of the time I even forgot I had the powers. I barely even used them in the firefights. So yeah, for the remaining of the quest, the main quest, you'll have to keep like finding artifacts and temples, but the temples are optional. At some point, the hunter and the emissary, which is another Starborn that's rival to the hunter, will reveal their identities to you, and it turns out they both are alternate versions of character that exist in your own universe. Yeah, and yeah, the emissary is Barret from another universe where you died. So it's so fucking original, man. Like I can't believe people got paid to write this fucking shit slop. But yeah, they'll both ask you to choose a side, and then after that it's more temples and artifacts. But yeah, it all blends together because it's very repetitive and boring, at least the main quest. You also get to know why Earth got abandoned, because apparently testing the first grav drive caused it to enter into a catastrophic state. I don't remember the details, but yeah, that was the gist of it. In universe, this is a secret, and you get to learn it by going into an old NASA base on Earth. And there's apparently the responsible for this catastrophe is another Starborn that was leaking his own other self in this universe data about grav drives, apparently. So yeah, that's another incredible twist. After this, there's the retrieval of the final artifact, where you'll have to fight the two spongiest motherfuckers if you don't manage to convince them, or at least one of them, depending on how you answer to their offer. After this, you get the choice to go into New Game Plus and become a Starborn yourself and enter New Game Plus. You get a cool like sequence if you try to go to the Unity and become the Starborn that showcases all the outcomes of your choices in the most important quests so far. At this point, though, like I'm still in my original universe. I haven't moved on to the two other ones. I don't think I'll ever will or play New Game Plus on this game because, like I said, it's boring. It gets very boring. And this is when it comes to the main quest. There's, yeah, like I said, the other important quests, like the one of the terror morphs, the one of the Crimson Fleet. The one with the Crimson Fleet is okay. I have no particular complaints when it comes to that one. Probably the best storyline in the game. The one with the terror morphs, though, is kind of dumb too, because it turns out the terror morphs are like they spread, but they don't know nobody knows how they spread. So then you will come to find out how they actually spread, because it turns out the terror morphs are just an evolution of the heat leeches that are pretty much everywhere. And I don't know, it just seems weird that it's been a lot of time. I don't remember exactly how much, but it's been a lot of time since the people are being exploring space and planets, and they have never run into like a heat leech like transforming into a terror morph. I don't know, it seemed very forced to me. It's very forced and doesn't make much sense. And also, yeah, there's the fact about the clone of the black general they cloned him, but the clone is a female. I don't know, it's just nonsensical. Like a black general and then a black scientist. It's more woke stuff. I don't even want to talk about it because it's just dumb. Yeah, I think I've talked about everything I wanted to mention about the spoilers. There's nothing really much to talk about when it comes to the story of this game. It's very forgettable. So let's move on to the conclusions, and yeah, I'll give out my final thoughts about the game and other considerations I have in mind. They're more of general character. But yeah, let's move on. Now, what is there to say? Overall, this game is nothing but a huge mountain of undercooked slop. Some good ideas, yes, like here and there, but fundamentally flawed. Just like most of the other Bethesda games. It even still has some of the same issues Oblivion did, like I said before. Like I remember being in an isolated outpost, like I was fighting pirates, and it was only myself, my companion, and the pirates. At some point, I don't know what happened, but my companion, which was Sarah, of course, gets very angry at me and says, "Oh, you've done this, you've done that." But what did I do? There's nothing I could have done. Because there was only enemies around me. But yeah, she gets angry. Oh, you've done this, you've done that. And then we go back in orbit, and all the ships from the United Colonies are shooting at me. But I don't know what I did, honestly. Just those kind of like situation you get in Bethesda games, like, you know, this kind of clusterfuck that you don't know what you did, but everything and everybody has it against you. I don't know if it was a bug or something like that. I don't know. It's the usual thing that when you do something, everybody in the universe knows it in a Bethesda game. It's so fucking annoying. And I mean, bugs, in terms of bugs, I didn't encounter too many of them. Probably a couple that locked me out of a couple of quests, but nothing too bad. Crashes, yeah, a few crashes here and there. Nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to Bethesda game. The thing is that the NPCs will still fucking disappear out of thin air when they enter doors, and it's just jarring to see in 2023, honestly. Like, maybe it was okay 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, but now I don't know, it just feels sloppy. And yeah, they fixed a little bit the performance here and there, but when I played it, it ran quite badly, honestly, on my config. I've seen the benchmarks too. It's not like, even on a high-end hardware, you still have fucking frame drops all over the place. So it's not very. It was not optimized. At the moment, it's better, but I can't tell you how much better it is because I haven't played much with the new patch. And this leads me to think, like, am I supposed to believe this was their game of the generation? Like Xbox and Bethesda's game of the generation? They put all their eggs in Starfield's basket, from what I have seen. And this is the best they could come up with. Like, Xbox probably bought Bethesda also for Starfield because they didn't have anybody to release this year. If they didn't have Bethesda to shit out a couple of boring, shitty games for them, like what was the other one called? Redfall, which was absolute shit, and now this one, which is also kind of shit. They would have had nothing this year, but instead they had 2 shitty games. Yeah, I guess it's better than nothing. I don't know. But yeah, overall the game is very janky, boring, let alone incredibly woke and stupid in its writing. It's disappointing. I am disappointed, and I didn't even have expectation coming in because I didn't want to play it in the first place, and it still managed to disappoint me because it's just very, very underwhelming overall. It could have been like a decent game, some good ideas. There's some nice ideas. Like you can see there's some decent concepts here and there, but it's just not enough to salvage it. I can't give this game more than 6 out of 10 in good faith. Like if this game was made by an indie studio, I would have said, yeah, this game is an acceptable game, but not from a AAA developer like Bethesda, and also with the backing of Microsoft. So also, I don't know, I've seen some reviewers say this game is an achievement or some stuff like this. Like how can you consider this game an achievement if you've been playing games for more than 10 years? I don't know. Were they paid? Were they bribed? I can't tell you. I just think it's very strange that someone who's been playing video games all their life would say this game is anything other than mediocre, undercooked stuff. I'll say be very wary of these people because they'll sell you like stuff they clearly don't even believe themselves in for money. They do it for money, to keep a good relationship with the big publishers, but they obviously don't care about you because they don't tell you how it is, because you can't say this game is a good game, let alone an achievement, and keep your credibility, in my opinion. But you do you keep watching whoever you want. I hope you know what you're doing, and you don't let these YouTubers you don't let these YouTubers fool you and take advantage of you. But yeah, this is it for the Starfield. This is it, and as for the channel, what's next? I'll probably re-upload. I'm replaying Dead Space, so I'll probably do a long play of that one. And also, I think I'll end up buying the Cyclone because it actually went on sale. So if I can, I'll review that one too. That's for the next videos. But yeah, next review, I don't know what it will be because I haven't been playing nothing new lately. So I'll have to see. But yeah, this is it for now. As usual, please like and subscribe if you can. It will really help. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.